Here's a big deal, merit. Our country is going to be based on merit again.
I fear that if I do not stand up for my rights as a human being, as an American citizen, that I may lose access to the opportunities that I've even come to college for.
That's Murray State University junior Ethan Fowler. A student on the autism spectrum, he's concerned about the impact of new federal policies on diversity initiatives. As of 5 o'clock on Wednesday, January 22nd, all diversity, equity, and inclusion workers in the federal government are on paid administrative leave. It's part of a flurry of executive orders from President Donald Trump in the first weeks of his second term. DEI is a hot-button topic. Defenders say it's a way to address historic imbalances. That's not just disparities based on race. Here's Murray State Professor of Higher Education and United Campus Workers of Kentucky member, Dr. Brian Burke.
Something that's interesting about affirmative action since its inception is that the most frequent benefactors or beneficiaries of those programs have been white women.
Contemporary DEI programs and offices promote hiring and retaining people from diverse backgrounds. They boomed during the Biden administration. Trump, and many on the right, say that those programs are anti-competitive, prioritizing characteristics like race and gender over merit. DEI is a broad term and not clearly defined.
This label of DEI, it's affirmative action plus so much more. It includes things that I think that we often take for granted that are covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act. So all the protections that individuals with disabilities receive because of federal intervention are under this DEI umbrella.
So let's take a look at what President Trump's executive orders say and do. I'm Bryce Patterson. Welcome to the Crossroads Suncast. As of January 29th, if you search for the Department of Energy's Office of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, you'll be redirected to the agency's homepage. If you dig a little deeper, you can find a list of rescinded policies. Those include goals for diverse hiring. That's part of the overall shift, which involves shutting down diversity initiatives across federal agencies. More broadly, the Department of Labor has been directed to stop, quote, promoting diversity. Federal contractors and subcontractors are directed to, quote, comply with our civil rights laws. Trump's executive orders also rescind an older civil rights law, signed by President Lyndon Johnson, which prohibited federal contractors from discriminating in their hiring, firing, promotion, and pay practices. Questions remain about the impact on schools and universities. As part of Trump's January 21st order, government agencies are ordered to identify up to 9 potential civil compliance investigations. That means looking into publicly traded companies, large nonprofits, foundations, state and local bar and medical associations, and universities with endowments of more than $1 billion. The result could be investigations of some of the largest universities in the country. We reached out to several colleges to see if they were making changes in reaction to those orders. We also asked if the orders would impact federally funded programs serving diverse student bodies. TRIO programs, for example, use federal money and are designed to, quote, motivate and support students from disadvantaged backgrounds. In a statement on January 29th, Dan Mahoney, president of the Southern Illinois University System, writes, quote, we will continue our commitment to anti-racism, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Nothing in the executive order appears to require immediate changes, and therefore, we do not plan on making any changes at this time. A statement from Murray State University says they're, quote, continuing to monitor this issue, along with all other policies and procedures at the state and federal levels. The University of Tennessee at Martin also says it's closely monitoring the situation. The University of Kentucky shuttered its DEI office in summer 2024. While opinions on DEI generally fall along party lines, there's not always a clear red or blue consensus. Kentucky Congressman James Comer says, quote, the federal government must stop wasting money on woke DEI programs. Illinois' Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker has called Trump's orders on DEI an attack on civil rights. Here's Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, a Democrat, speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland on January 23rd.
I've always believed that the private sector is private. And if you believe it helps your business to have a diverse workforce and you want to put in policies that help attract that diverse workforce, well, again, you're part of the private sector. If you believe it helps you, then the state that you're working with should support you.
Beshear has historically defended DEI programs. In spring 2024, he said he would veto a bill which would curb DEI programs at state colleges and universities in Kentucky. That bill never made it to his desk. While Beshear didn't make a strong case for or against DEI policies at the federal level, he defended those programs as a choice for individual businesses.
We've now seen these organizations that have been created to go after corporations that have quote-unquote woke policies. Right? Your policies are your policies if you're the private sector. You know, we can have different opinions on it, but if you believe that it's going to help you to, again, have a diverse workforce, if you want to push different equity measures within your business, that's your business.
Even before Trump's executive orders, multiple large companies were already cutting back their diversity initiatives. That includes Walmart and Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. Costco, Microsoft, and Apple have defended their diversity programs. Last year, Apple was sued by employees who accused the company of systematically underpaying women compared to men in similar roles. The Crossroads Suncast is a production of Paxton Media Group. Original reporting on this story by Ariana Allen, Callie Stone, and me, Bryce Patterson. Learn more about the impacts of President Trump's executive orders at paducasun.com, thesouthern.com, and WPSD Local 6.com.